What's cracking, y'all? We're back with another video. Today we will be watching some basketball. If you know anything about my content, I like to react to basketball videos. I react to drama videos. I like to mix, match. I react to shit that I find interesting. So if you like basketball, I'll be the guy for you. If you like drama, I'll be the guy for you. So go ahead, shoot me a like. Shoot me a comment, go ahead and subscribe, and I'm going to be here to react to the shit. So let's get this shit started. Today we're going to be talking about Mike Korzemba, hopefully I said that right, video, why the new NBA is making fans hate basketball. Interesting. Let's get it started.
The score tied and under 10 seconds left. Nikola Jovic breaks to the basket on an out-of-bounds play and finishes an N1 that after a Mike Conley missed three gave the Miami Heat a win. In this loss, Anthony Edwards shot 8 for 24 in an off night. It happens, all NBA stars have them. And also shot 14 of his 24 shots from three and made just 4 of those 14 shots.
That is crazy. Okay, so one thing he's probably going to be talking about, and I'm not going to be shocked, is the three-point problem that the NBA is having. Now, I made a little bit of a controversial take. It's actually one of my lowest rated videos on my channel, sitting at like 75% like to dislike ratio. Which means that, because right now, all my videos are sitting around 85 to 90% like to dislike. So I appreciate y'all liking the content. But yeah, 75% around like to dislike, because I said, and I simply stated, and I stand by this, I'm not sure. That's why it's kind of crazy that I'm getting hated for this as well. I am not sure whether or not the three-point shooting is necessarily the problem. I think the three-point volume, yes, is the problem, but it's the team shooting the three-pointers. Okay? Because I pointed out that the Dallas and Golden State game was one of the most watched games of the season. They shot an outlandish amount of threes, but they made them. Versus the Chicago and Charlotte was one of the most lowest viewed as well as the most disliked games of the season. They shot an outlandish amount of threes, but they missed most of them. So that's what I'm saying. If the teams are making their threes, is it really that bad of a product? Or is it more the volume of threes that's being missed that's ruining the product? But I'm not sure on that. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion. But let's keep going. Let's continue.
Shots. That is a number that might shock you, but it is a trend that is only getting bigger. As to begin this year, Anthony Edwards is averaging 11.8 three-point attempts per game, which means he is currently attempting more three-pointers a night than Steph Curry did in his 2016 MVP winning season. Just last season, Ant averaged 6.7 threes a game. This is a drastic change, and it gets even deeper. While putting up 11.8 three-pointers a night, Anthony Edwards still does not rank first in the NBA in three-point field goals attempted. That honor goes to LaMelo Ball, who was taking 13 threes.
That is insane. What? Jason Tatum's up there. No fucking shock to that. Anthony Edwards. LaMelo Ball's taking 13. That's way too much. I'm sorry. That is way too many shot attempts from three. When it's considering the fact that you can get yourself an easier look, a better shot. It's just, I don't know why this has happened too. Because like you said, Anthony Edwards was at 6 and now he's at 11.8. Why the jump in just a year is, I'm not sure.
Threes a game. Jason Tatum, right behind Ant, is averaging 11.6. In fact, there are currently 4 players in the NBA averaging at least 11 threes a game, 9 who are shooting at least 9, and 35 current players are taking 7 three-pointers a game. Just last season, that number was at 22. In 2015, that number was 4. In an era where a lot of people have said they do not enjoy the current three-point shooting NBA. This season, 7 teams are attempting over 40 threes a game compared to last year where that number was just 1. The Celtics are averaging 51.3 pointers a night. That is over half of the shots they are taking, which means we have to ask here, is this shooting the most effective way to play and to win basketball games? Is a star like Anthony Edwards maxing out his potential on the court with this type of shooting, or has everyone lost their mind and gone too far? Is there a...
I think the problem is, yes, it has gone too far. I don't think someone like Anthony Edwards should be taking that many threes a night. He's not a three-point specialist. There's no reason for him to be taking that many a night. If you have a few, that's fine, but taking that many a night and making them at a low percentage is not good for your team, and it doesn't equal in the win column. It doesn't make sense.
Limit here. So what's up, Mike here, and this video is about answers. This season has seen a drastic change in the NBA, and there is no denying that. There's also no denying that the four leaders in three-point attempts, LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, and Tyrese Maxey, this season are all setting career highs in both three-point attempts and points per game. Ant has gone from 25.9 points to 28.3. LaMelo is averaging 29.4 points per game this year compared to 23.9 last season. If you want a LaMelo video on Saturday, let me know down below in the comments. If you want to and enjoy this content, it would be cool if you subscribe to come watch. Continuing to uncover the truth here, though, I do not think it's an exaggeration at all to say that Anthony Edwards' 2025 season is going to have a rippling effect on all of basketball. NBA stars do not usually make such a drastic change to their game unless something is very wrong with it. Ant just easily had the most successful season of his career. In 2024, Anthony Edwards was not only second-team All-NBA, he led the Timberwolves over Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets in the playoffs.
McDaniels up to 18. Edwards on the steal. Edwards, oh, what a move to the rack!
Edwards working, leaning, spinning, shots.
See, this is fun to watch. This is fun to watch. Anthony Edwards is fun to watch. So the fact that he's taking so many threes is kind of crazy, considering the fact that doesn't really seem like his game. That doesn't really seem like his game. He seems like a more like get you to the paint, get you to bite. If you don't bite, I'm slamming it home on your head type of player. You know, get a shot, cross you up, hezzy, boom. Like, I don't...
Sticks it. I'm not saying who, Reg, but it looks kind of familiar. Late game takeover in the mid-post fadeaway style.
And then with Big Purr, lost in the Western Conference Finals to Luka and the Mavs.
Ditch again, another three. Got it, he's a flamethrower. He is on fire, 20 points. Luka drives on McDaniels with a lead, a foul, and a deuce. With Snoop right now. Snoop.
We as NBA fans and the NBA media and everyone in general saw this as a tremendous success for Minnesota, saw this as a tremendous success for Anthony Edwards. But after a summer with Team USA, after being able to hang out with his mentor Kevin Durant on a daily basis, it is clear that getting to the Western Conference Finals is simply not enough for Ant. It is title or nothing, which means to begin this year, Anthony Edwards is trying to do what he can to win a title. He has upped his three-pointers by a drastic margin because he believes that is what is going to help him win. Will it? Well, some say history repeats itself. The exact quote from Winston Churchill, though, is, "Those that fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it." Which means if we look at past champions to learn, we will find the answers we are looking for. Trust me, I made this video. I know at the end we get there. As before the 2015 champion Golden State Warriors, NBA title winners had been built largely without the three ball. Despite the fact that the NBA three-point line was introduced in 1980, it took the league a long time to see how truly powerful the three ball is. In 1985, the league leader in three-pointers was Darrell Griffith with 3.3. Fourth in the league was Gus Williams with 2.2. Those numbers made a noticeable leap 10 years later. In 1995, John Starks averaged 7.6 three-pointers a game, while Vernon Maxwell at fourth averaged 6.9. Until the 2015 Golden State Warriors, though, until Steph Curry, the NBA stayed at that level, though. As in 2005, Quentin Richardson led the NBA in three-point attempts with 8. Ray Allen was fourth. Then in 2015, Steph led the league with 8.1 three-point attempts, while Damian Lillard was fourth with 7. Now, again, there are 35 players taking over 7 threes.
This is absolutely crazy. This is such a large leap considering this is his MVP season, Steph Curry, and you're taking more threes.
Here are the three-point attempts and league rank of the 10 NBA champions before Golden State broke the three-point glass ceiling in 2015. From 2005 to 2014, we see a trend of a slight uptick in threes as we get to 2014, but nothing crazy. Then came 2015, then came MVP Steph, then came the Splash Brothers, and now here are the 10 NBA champions three-point attempts from 2015 to 2024. A huge leap as the NBA not only played copycat, but also a narrative had been broken. Back during the 2015 season, Charles Barkley had one very strong belief. He thought the 15 season Charles Barkley huge leap as the NBA not only played copycat but also a narrative.
42.5 three-point attempts from Boston, bro. And they might fuck around and win the problem is people are seeing that Boston's doing it and winning with it, and that's why they're copying it. Boston won the championship last year. 42.5 three-point attempts taken. They make a decent amount of their threes, sure. But they're taking so many. And not only that, now they're up to what, 50? So like half of their shots are coming from the three-point line. If they win the championship this year, I feel like it's going to hurt the NBA. Because right now I'm just simply stating that if teams are good at making the three and they're shooting the three, it should work. You have some teams hesitant as far as if they want to take that many threes or not. But if they see that Boston wins again and they increase their volume from the year before, you're going to have a lot of teams playing copycat again. And it's just going to become a boring product. It's going to happen. I will say that, yeah, there are some teams that I like to see some threes for. You know, like I said, the Golden State Warriors in the Dallas game was one of the highest viewed. But at the same time, I know you guys didn't like my opinion on that one. At the same time, there is a line. There is a line. The line has already been crossed. There's way too many teams. There's no way the Charlotte Hornets, Chicago Bulls should be up there as 3-point attempts, but they are. But you're going to see every single team increasing their three-point volume to a ridiculous degree, and you'll have players shooting threes like Bam Adebayo is going to start pumping up threes like crazy for no reason. Just because what? Because more team, like this team won. So if they won a championship with shooting the amount of threes that they're shooting, why can't we win a championship with the threes they're shooting? Why can't we do that? It's just going to be copycat. So if you are a Boston Celtic fan, this is a conflicting year for you. Because if you guys win the championship this year, with the volume of threes you're shooting, copycat ball is going to happen, and the product is probably not going to be as fun to watch. But if you guys lose the championship, we might see the NBA start to level out a little bit as far as where the threes are happening at, how much of volume is being shoot from three-point land. But now you're a conflicted Boston fan. What do you want? Do you want that short-term just winning, just feeling good about yourself, or the long-term product? What do you want? What do you want? You want that championship, the sweet gold? But then overall, over time, your championship aspirations may go up or down, but as far as your love for the game, it may start to dissipate because of the amount of threes. Or you want long-term love, but you got to give up a chip. You got to hope your team loses. It's an interesting one.
Narrative had been broken. Back during the 2015 season, Charles Barkley had one very strong belief. He thought the Golden State Warriors, with 67 wins, had no chance to win the NBA championship because, according to Chuck,
why do you hate the Golden State Warriors?
You know what's interesting? I'm not big on jump shooting teams.
This, of course, seems like an absurd statement now, but we are living in the current. Barkley thought over 4 7-game series that eventually the jump shots were going to miss and that a jump shooting team was not going to be able to consistently win 4 playoff games in a single series. Now, of course, Chuck was wrong. One of the worst takes ever, but I've been there. What's important is that Chuck was a symbol of the lack of belief in three-point shooting. Every team saw that it was good, but they still had not harnessed into its true power. The 2011 Mavericks are the perfect example of this. They won the championship. They finished third in three-point attempt rate amongst their peers. They had a Hall of Fame three-point shooting big man, along with a three-point shooting sniper in Jason Terry, who averaged more points per game than LeBron in those 2011 NBA Finals. Those Mavericks as a team took just 21.6 threes a game. The revolutionary Splash Brothers Golden State 2015 Warriors, the ones who broke this glass ceiling, took just 27 threes a game themselves. As really, when looking at the Warriors, we find that Steph and Klay themselves took over half of their team's total attempts from three. Golden State as a team was balanced. They were very much built on defense. Three-point shooting was the most effective way for them to create their offense. That is a tremendous key here. Balance and roster construction. The 2 league leaders in NBA three-point shooting last season were the Dallas Mavericks and the Boston Celtics. The Celtics, though, were also third in defensive rating in the entire NBA, while the Mavericks ranked just 18th. The 2015 Rockets are also the perfect example of needing balance on your roster to win the ultimate prize, the NBA title. The Houston Rockets actually had a chance to be the revolutionary team back in 2015, as it was the Rockets who led the NBA in three-pointers with 32.7 threes a night. After leading the league in three-pointers, the Warriors in the Western Conference Finals beat them in 5 games, as Golden State was first in the NBA in defense. Defense still is king. We know Anthony Edwards' only goal is to win a championship as soon as possible. An MVP that came with it would be the best bonus imaginable. Steph with the Warriors won multiple MVPs and multiple championships, while James Harden did win an MVP but has not reached the NBA Finals since his days in Oklahoma City. So an individual player and a team can have tremendous success playing this way. But as we see, there is another side of the sword. Now, we do have to keep in mind that shots have to come from somewhere. A rise in three-pointers does mean that somewhere else on the court, shots are not taking place, and that, of course, comes in the mid-range. Analytics has stated that shots at the rim or at the three-point line are the most efficient by far, and that everything else is garbage, which means a lot of teams now have the strategy to keep opponents honest with mid-range shots, to take them when they're open, but to really focus on either three-pointers or rim running. Anthony Edwards.
See, that's the thing. But if you know that most teams are just going to focus on rim running and three-pointers, I don't understand why other teams don't harness the mid-range way more. Like, again, Anthony Edwards in that mid-range game is deadly. Like, you have no idea. It just is. And I don't understand why more players won't adopt that. 3 is more than 2, but 4 is more than 3. And what do I mean by that? It's like you'll have players that will throw up 2 threes miss them, and then come back and hit a third. And there we go. We got 3. Right? But then you'll have a player go in for a little hezzy boom, layup, go in for a little mid-range misses, go in for another mid-range boom, hits it. So that's 4. So in 3 shots, you were able to get 4 points versus in 3 shots, you were only able to get 3. But hey, you made 1, so why does it matter? Well, because the volume of the shots that you're taking is that you only get so many possessions per game. So when the volume of your 3-point shots go up, your chances go down as far as how many chances you get to cut the score or to win. Even if the score is at a drastic state, you're just making it worse. If you're down by 10, it's easy to get down by 20, especially when you're letting the other team get the ball and you're giving them no points back in return. So yeah, I feel like defense, if you're going to shoot that many threes, your defense needs to be on point. And if you're going to shoot that many threes, your volume's going to be so high, I apologize. You have to be able to hit them at a high clip. Because if you're going to shoot that many threes with the defensive part, you got to make sure you're able to stop the other team from scoring. Because you're not going to make every 3, and you're not going to be as efficient. So you need to make sure you're able to stop the other team from scoring, so you're able to chuck up as many threes. And if you're going to chuck up as many threes, you also got to be at least somewhat efficient. You may not be as efficient as the mid-range game, or going straight to the rim, and taking it to the rack. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to be efficient enough to where it matters. And I feel like right now, the reason that NBA product is going down is because you have a lot of players that go out there, shoot a shit ton of threes, shouldn't be taking those shots, and their percentage, their 3-point percentage, is absolutely atrocious. Like, it just is what it is. Like I said, I'm a Chicago Bulls fan, but there's no reason in how we should be taking the amount of threes we're taking. It's just ridiculous.
Edwards has caught on to that trend. In 2024, Ant took 456 shots from 10 feet to the 3-point line. That was 24.2% of his total shots. Now, in 2025, Ant has taken just 21 shots from the same range, or 11.4% of his total shots. He has erased his mid-range game completely and instead has focused entirely on the 3-ball, and that includes driving to the basket. In 2024, Ant averaged 23.6% of his shots at the rim, and in taking those shots, he averaged 6.4 free throw attempts a game. Now, Ant is shooting just 16.8% of his shots at the rim. Darius Garland shoots 17.3% of his shots at the rim for comparison, and in theory, this doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel like an ultra-explosive, athletic Anthony Edwards should be giving up drives to the basket in order to just launch more and more threes.
Because it's not. That's not Anthony Edwards. That's not his game. That's never been his game. Like, he's always been a slasher. He's always been a bucket getter. That's his shit. But him just being like a spot-up 3-point shooter, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't even feel right to say out of my mouth. It's just kind of crazy. But again, it's mimicking what won. What won the championship last year? A shit ton of 3-point shooting. So fuck it, let's try it. And it's like, bro, why don't you just try to stick to your own formula? Your team just sticks to your own formula and try to win your way. You don't have to chuck up a shit ton of threes to win. It is what it is.
Anthony Edwards' true shooting percentage here tells a completely different story. As from 2022 to 2024, Ant has had around the same true shooting percentage, 56 in 2022, 56.4 in 2023, and 57.5 in 2024. But in 2025, we cannot deny that a true shooting percentage of 61.7% is not only a very noticeable increase, but also gives us real evidence to the fact that, at least for now, Anthony Edwards' style of play is working. At this point, you may be asking, what exactly is the problem then? We're seeing success, we're seeing better analytics. Well, it appears people do not like this, and possibly they don't want to watch it. The viewership numbers tell no lies here, and in 2024, the NBA averaged 11.31 million viewers per game in the NBA Finals. In 2017, that number was 20.38 million. It's not just streaming. The Super Bowl in 2017 averaged 111.32 million viewers. In 2024, that number jumped up to 120.25 million. The NFL is trending upward. The NBA has not been. Viewers are responding to this 3-point outburst in a very negative way. Sports Media Watch reported that the NBA playoff viewership was down 12% last year compared to 2023, and a quick Google search with the words NBA TV viewership will provide results that are probably making Adam Silver a bit nauseous. The league is doing everything they can to fix this. The introduction of the NBA Cup in the regular season is one of those things, but you can't force people to watch if they don't love the product. I love the NBA, but the viewer numbers are not lying. Finishing this though, here is the real question we have to ask. Here's the real question we are coming back to. Does high 3-point shooting lead to wins? Because
before he answers that, I want to talk about I know that Adam Silver's trying his best to try to get the product to be viewed. The NBA Cup is a decent idea. I think the All-Star game as well I'm curious on his answer as far as like 3-point shooting leading to wins. I know that 3-point shooting is leading to viewership going down. But I think as far as the product goes, I mean, people want to see people dunk. People want to see people in like the purest form of the product. I mean, what is the biggest thing that the WNBA got shit for constantly? There's not dunks, right? So you guys are chucking up a bunch of threes. Of course, the product's going to go down as far as people wanting to view it. Not just that. You guys need to start caring about the All-Star game. It needs to be cared about. It needs to be cared about. We're going to this really dumb-ass format that's like a multiple team format. That's like team versus team, like 3-on-3, 4-on-4 shit. That's stupid. That's dumb. That's dumb. What we should have done, honestly, this is my opinion. I could be wrong on this, but we should do international versus NBA. Like international versus domestic. That's what we should do. USA versus like Team Europe, something like that. So, because I know that the international players, they would take that shit seriously. Because now, and I know that Luka was in the All-Star game and Jokic was in the All-Star game, and it doesn't seem like they cared too much. That's true, but at the end of the day, now it's international versus Team USA. Fuck yeah, we're going to try to beat them motherfuckers and win. Now the shit's taken seriously. It should be something like that, or at least just give some effort. No one's saying you have to go out there and fucking run it like this is a finals game, but at least go out there and run it like it's mid-season. Like it's a mid-season game. It's like, it's important. You probably should win it, but there's no like consequence if you don't win. It's a mid-season game. Just go out there and play like that. Don't go out there and play like it's, you know, the beginning of the season. You're just gonna lousy around because you can afford to lose a game. And don't go out there like it's the end of the season, like we are where we are, we can afford to lose this game. Go like mid-season, like we probably should win. It probably is important if we do win, but, you know, we don't want to exert all of our energy because we'll fuck around, you know, the postseason's coming up soon. A mid-season game. That's all people are asking you, is to give some effort. Not, oh, I'll leave you open at 3 while I just stand here and watch you. Like, come on, man.
If it does, teams are not going to stop. The NBA is going to need to work around this in order to bring in new viewers, and the answer to does this work is a resounding yes. Yes, it works. The Celtics just led the NBA in three-point shooting last year. They won the title. The 2024 finals were played between the two highest three-point shooting teams in the league. The 2023 champion Denver Nuggets, yes, they were 26th in the NBA in three-point shooting, but they still took 31.2 threes a game. The 2015 Warriors, again, took 27. The 2014 Spurs, the last champion before this three-point explosion, averaged 21.4 threes a game, a number that would not even put you on the list in the NBA now. You'd be ranked 52nd. The NBA has yet to find a limit of what will not work when it comes to three-point shooting. The Celtics this year are sitting near the top of the NBA standing-wise, and they are shooting over 50 threes a game. The Timberwolves are averaging 41.7, good for 4th in the league, as Anthony Edwards has gone from the next Michael Jordan to perhaps Steph Curry with a...
Well, hold on,
and they are shooting over...
I got a question. He's saying, yes, it works. I'm curious on that, though. Oh, let's zoom out. Jesus. Okay, let's look at it. So, Boston Celtics, we already know that they have a 28-11 win-loss record. So, they're doing good. Number 2 in the East. Number 2 in the East seems like they're number 3 overall. Okay, let's keep going. Charlotte Hornets. They're 13th. Chicago Bulls. Where are we? Oh, damn. 10th. We're 10th. Golden State Warriors. Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves are 20-18. Warriors are 19-19. And Phoenix Suns, 10th. What the fuck? Okay, we're good. Sorry. I don't know why Sketchpad opened. Let's see. We're just going to round this list off with the top 10. Number 8 is the Orlando Magic and the Phoenix and Brooklyn Nets. Orlando Magic, Brooklyn Nets, Eastern. Where's the Magic at? They're 4th. And the Nets are 12th. So when you say like, and then obviously the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Wizards are 15th in the East, and then Oklahoma City Thunder are 1 in the West. So when you say it equals wins, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Because when you go down this list, I mean, Boston's good, sure. Charlotte, Chicago are not. Minnesota and Golden State is to be determined. I mean, they're okay. Phoenix is 10th. Brooklyn Nets is bad. Orlando Magic is okay. Oklahoma City Thunder, obviously, they're first. And then Washington Wizards are last in the East. So I'm not sure what you mean, like, oh, yeah, it does equal wins. It's like, I'm not sure if that necessarily is 100% the case. I mean, look at the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have the best record in the league, and they're 16th. So I'm not sure about that. So maybe I'm coming around on my opinion as far as like the 3-point killing the league. I might feel more strongly after watching this a little bit that it might be killing the league a little bit. Because this is kind of ridiculous. When you're pointing out these numbers to me and I'm actually looking at them, bro, 16th is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're number 1 in the league as far as record goes. So I'm not sure when you mean it equals wins. Just because what? Boston? Yeah, Boston might go on to win a championship. That could happen. They could happen. But so could Cleveland, and they're 16th. And the next 2 teams you point out is Charlotte and Chicago, a team we know that are not going to win a championship. So
50 threes a game. The Timberwolves are averaging 41.7, good for 4th in the league, as Anthony Edwards has gone from the next Michael Jordan to perhaps Steph Curry with a 40-inch vertical. Lonzo, look out. It was Ant all along. It's just the beginning of the year, but we will see. Long term, what implications will this have? Let me know down below. What do you think about all this? Are you enjoying watching the NBA right now? And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notifications. That way you never miss a video if you did like the content. Here, also in the top left corner, is a video on a trade that I guarantee you will break the NBA, and in the top right corner is a video that YouTube is recommending specifically for you.
Okay. I like that. I like that. That was a good video. I like that a lot. So, yeah, I think I said everything I needed to say as far as this video goes. I respected it. It was a good video. I liked it. I'm probably going to react to more of this guy's content. I respect the ball knowledge. But yeah, as far as like, I walked into this video thinking, you know what, with the 3-point problem, it might just be the teams that are taking the 3 points. And I can see that still kind of being it. But as far as like the product going down, it's a little bit, I don't want to say delusional because I'm not trying to talk shit or nothing. I'm not saying that. It's this misconception. That's it. It's this misconception that actually taking more threes leads to winning because the Boston Celtics are going to win. Isn't there something called an anomaly? Just because the Boston Celtics might end up winning the championship, does that equal great? They're not even the best team in the East. Cleveland is, and they're sitting at 16th. The Thunder are sitting at 9 in 3-point attempts, and they're the best team in the league. So it's just, I don't know. As far as win column goes, now we can debate whether or not they're the best team. But as far as like wins, because that's what matters, right? Is this 3-point volume equaling wins? And I'm not convinced yet, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Cleveland needs to win another ring to knock Boston down. And I'd love to see Donovan Mitchell win a ring. I'd love to see Cleveland win a ring for it to be Cleveland's ring. Unfortunately, I feel like LeBron haters are going to use Cleveland's ring as ammunition to somehow hate on him. I can see it happening. I'm clocking it. Go ahead and screen record this and clock this shit because I'm telling you right now, Cleveland wins a ring this year, it will just simply be used as ammunition against LeBron. Instead of us actually sitting here and praising Cleveland, the talks are just going to be completely diluted and taken over to, oh, well, see, told you, LeBron's trash because look what Cleveland did. And instead of hyping up Cleveland for the well-deserved ring that they might end up winning. But as far as liking my content, if you like what I talk about, go ahead, like, comment, subscribe. It was a good video. I liked it. I enjoyed it. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Go ahead and give me suggestions on anything you guys want me to react on, and I'll go ahead and do that. Peace and love to everybody, guys. Peace out.